Welcome. What is this show called? Are we gonna call the show anything?
I hadn't really gotten that far.
We haven't gotten that far.
We'll come up with a name later.
We'll come up with a name later.
Do like an intro or something.
Couch Talks with Greg. Does that sound like a good one?
No.
Couch Talks with Greg.
No. Of course, now here comes the texting again.
Is it him?
Nope.
It's mom.
Yep.
Harry Potter. We're gonna see Harry
How does
Potter.
1250 sound? Great. Whatever. Stop texting me.
Damn, mom.
That's all right.
This is the first episode ever of whatever the show's gonna be called.
We'll think of something.
We'll think of something. We'll come up with something. But it's where we're gonna review movies and talk about them. And for the pilot episode, we're gonna do Con Air.
Oh,
Con
for
Air.
the pilot episode, I get it.
Yeah, that's right.
I get it.
That's right, Greg. I love this movie growing up. This is a great movie. At least my child self thought so. Great lineup of actors.
And to really date ourselves here, when you talk about being a child, this movie came out in 1997.
I was a little
It's,
guy.
Jerry Bruckheimer produced, directed by Simon West. Not Michael Bay.
What about
This
these
is,
guys? I've never heard of these guys. So what's some of their notable things?
Bruckheimer, most Michael Bay movies are produced by Bruckheimer. So like all those Transformer movies. He did The Rock the year before this,
Is this
in
the
'96.
Is this the same guy that's like going back and did you do Fast and Furious? The reboots with those?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because there's some
I don't
guy
know anything about Fast and Furious movies.
that goes
except I haven't
crazy
seen
with
any
the
of them.
reboots, and I think that's him. I can't remember. But, so, good producers. Is it a good director? Is he famous?
Simon West, not as famous as like Bruckheimer. I know he did a movie a couple years after that called The General's Daughter in '99, but beyond that, I don't really know much
Never heard
stuff
of-
he did there.
So, it's got a good line of people. You got Dave Chappelle, his first big thing.
Mm-hmm. He'd been in some movies. It's a smaller part for him. You got Ving Rhames is in there.
Malkovich.
Yeah, John Malkovich is the big bad guy. Obviously, the elephant in the room is crazy Nick Cage.
For sure.
You got him right there as your lead guy. So
This is the beginning of his downfall, right?
this was around the start. I want to say this is kind of like the dawn of Crazy Nick Cage because you had Face Off come out that same summer. I think this one came out in May or June, and you had Face Off come out in July. Face Off is the one where I think everybody kind of considers the tipping point because he was like playing a crazy, bad guy until he switches place and starts playing John Travolta. It's weird. But this is kind of at the beginning of that era where he just starts doing crazy stuff in like every movie. So
Was this successful money-wise? Did this make money?
it did pretty good. I think if you look it up, it made somewhere around $100 million, which 20 years ago, pretty decent. Not like it wasn't like today where a movie will come out and make over $100 million its opening weekend, but it did okay.
Did okay. Well, let's compare notes here. You wrote a book.
Oh my gosh, where to start? We'll just kind of run through the movie and we'll just say spoilers. So go to the end if you just want to hear if it's any good or not, because we'll just be like talking about the whole thing kind of as it happens on the
I have
screen.
these little babblings that make no sense, only to me. They probably still won't make sense.
No, that's all right. Maybe we'll jog each other's memory with stuff because I'm trying to think. I got
got a
notes.
book?
Yeah, I was bored, so I was taking lots of notes.
I like it.
So
I like it.
Let's start off. I know you were talking about we kick off the movie and it's like instant, America, fuck yeah, with
This
the
B-roll
Army
footage.
Rangers.
This is stock footage they used.
Yeah, it
Clearly.
looks like stuff from the Gulf War.
Yeah, they're explaining to the viewers what Rangers are. And not like going into crazy history detail about them.
No.
But they're literally just saying, oh, Rangers are just bad.
Rangers
special
lead the
forces.
way. Rangers are the best. They never leave anybody behind.
It was so corny.
All that
It
stuff.
Immediately threw me off.
And there's Nick Cage. I don't know if that. And the guy's talking about, oh, we're sad to see you go. So I guess they're all retiring or something at the same time.
I think
all those
so.
people there because there's Nicolas Cage and he's like, oh yeah, I'm a Ranger, so I'm awesome.
Well, then it goes to, he comes home and it's that stereotypical soldier coming home from war, and you have that shitty country music.
He
and
gets
his
off.
wife.
He gets off a damn bait boat. He gets off a bait boat and goes to this bar where Monica Potter's working, and she's his wife, and they act like they haven't seen each other in years because none of the guys that are like picking the fight. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a regular. Yeah, I'm a regular. It's like, well, how would Nicolas Cage not know that? Has he never been to where his wife worked before? he was obviously home long enough to knock her up at some point, but they treat it like he's been gone for years and years and years doing army stuff.
I feel like they tried to do a Roadhouse vibe with that,
Yeah.
and it didn't go off well.
Well, I'm trying to figure out when the movie is set, because the guy makes a dig about,
Pussies like you, we lost Vietnam, I'll tell you that.
like, Vietnam. This is like,
Yeah.
but the movie came out in 97, and spoilers here, Nicolas Cage goes to jail for like 8 years, so does that mean this is like 1989 at the beginning of the movie? Because why are they ragging on Vietnam? This is like the late 80s or the mid 90s. That's like so long ago.
This is what I have written down here. Nicolas Cage talks like an autistic Civil War general. Did you pick up on that?
No, I thought he talked like Forrest Gump.
Really?
Because it's from Alabama. We get a title showing it's in Mobile, Alabama.
Well, he kind of had that, but then he also had a delay like this. And everything was move them up the lines and bring them on in. I don't know. I just picked up this autistic Civil War general.
Sound like Christopher Walken playing Colonel Angus from Saturday Night Live. So then we get the big fight scene.
Yeah.
The rednecks pick a fight. They wait till he's leaving in the rain. It's pouring down rain. It's like super, super dramatic. It's dark. You got the rain pouring down. There's an oil rig right next to the bar, complete with the working derrick, flame shooting out the top.
Sure.
The rain is coming down like it's on a Hollywood set, which, surprise. They get into a fight. There's 3 guys. They jump Nick Cage. Obviously self-defense. One of them's got a knife. One of them's got like a busted beer bottle. And he ends up killing one of them. He does like the old Shazam and like busts the guy's nose into his head. And,
I mean, we know. We saw that B-roll footage. We know how serious Rangers are.
Rangers do not mess around.
They lead the way to first-degree murder.
Well, it wasn't first-degree murder. Remember, he pled guilty to manslaughter.
Oh.
But the judge says,
You have pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the first degree. With your military skills, you are a deadly weapon and are not subject to the same laws as other people that are provoked because you can respond with deadly force.
So you're going to jail. And it's like, no, wait a second. There was this thing. There used to be this thing. And anybody remembers back in the 90s, there was a thing where people always said, oh, if you're a boxer, if you know karate, you have to register your hands as a deadly weapon. And that's total bullshit. Everybody has the same right to self-defense under the law. It doesn't matter if you're a ninja or if you're, some schmuck on the street. You have the same right to self-defense, especially if there's 3 guys jumping you. One of them's got a knife. I mean, that's just absurd. Now, what they really wanted to do, if they really wanted to say, okay, Nicolas Cage has to go to jail, then have him get one of the guys on the ground. And the guy's like going, please don't hurt me. And then Nicolas Cage like snaps his neck anyway. But then he wouldn't be he doesn't really deserve to be in jail, yada, yada. So they create this bullshit where the judge says that. Man, I would appeal the shit out of that verdict. I would be like fighting the Supreme Court to get that fucking judge disbarred. Are you kidding me?
But this reminds me so much of a Hallmark movie where it's in La La Land. No, I'm saying my stepmom watches these Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I was leaving the house, she was watching them. And it's just where they create these situations that would never happen.
Yes.
Unrelatable characters.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what this movie was. Extremely corny and tugging on he's a veteran and he's just trying to do the right thing.
And he pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter, and he still got 7 to 10 years. So then we get Nicolas Cage in prison. And he doesn't do anything in prison. He does nothing. It used to be, if you watch prison movies like Cool Hand Luke, they got those guys out on the chain gang. They're building highways. They're picking up trash on the side of the road. They're doing this. The only thing he does in his cell is like yoga. He's like doing yoga like he's a fucking Zen master. And he spends all his time writing letters or reading letters. Dear Casey, I got your letter today. You need to stay in school and tell Timmy Wilson not to pull your pigtails or whatever, and I'm
Day
going home
7
and see my
of the
girl
battle
Sarah.
and the lines are holding.
I'm going to give Bubba Gump these Hostess snowballs, but I can't call them that because Hostess will sue or something. So these little pink coconut things you sent me, I'm going to give them to Bubba.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's great. He spends the whole time, there's like riots and stuff going on outside. It's almost like a spoof movie of those things where there's like riots going on and he's like writing a letter like, hi honey, everything's fine today.
How was he a ranger?
What the hell is going on?
He's a ranger, but he's also autistic because there's a riot going on. He's like, these pink gooey ooey. snowballs, they are delicious.
I mean, it's almost like a Zucker Brothers movie where you have like all this action going on in the background of the scene, and there's just like, dude, we're focusing on the mundane
coconut.
stuff going on here where he's writing his letters.
People
But that's all
dying,
he does.
dying behind him. An actual prisoner. These coconuts are delicious.
It looks like he's got his own cell, although I think they show him like eventually that he's like shacked up with Bubba, and it's like he never leaves the cell, but he's still in there for 8 years. It's like, how does he not get time off for good behavior? This is exactly what they want the prisoners to do, is like never leave their cell, never get involved in fights, never get involved in the riots or whatever, just do nothing. He's like in there the whole time. There's like no time. He doesn't go out to the yard to do anything. He's not smoking cigarettes and trading stuff. All he does is grow his hair out and not shave.
Grows his hair out.